August 15th. (2023) Freedom Corner Digest. Because I'm a little low on battery power. It's been so hot, the batteries don't charge up very well. We had an awesome Freedom Corner night last night. This was so nice. Mickey and Nicole were back. Hey, Gene Shannon, good day, ma'am. Look at this pretty spot I found. I'm in the National Arboretum in Washington, D.C. This is 400 and something acres, and they have all types of tree specimens here. Hey, Jerry, good to see you, buddy. They also have 3 separate bonsai houses here. And I don't know if you know what bonsais are, but they're like miniature trees. It takes a lot of effort to grow and trim them. Morning, Sylvia. So these bonsai trees are awesome. I hope to show them to you someday. Not sure if I can film in here. You got a lot of rules about filming here, so we may get hassled, may get cut short. We don't know. But let's get to it. I'm a little low on battery here, Sylvia, so we're gonna go quick. There we go. This is a great spot here in DC to hang out during the day. We had a great Freedom Corner last night. Mickey and Nicole were back. Tommy and Tammy and David were out in New York. Let's see, what's the event called that they're at? It's called J6 Truth and Justice Week at the America First Warehouse up in New York. And they put on like a show, a patriotic show. I think they had us live streaming there, and that's all on Freedom Express Media. He is broadcasting live there all week, and I would recommend checking him out. Freedom Express Media is an awesome source of information. So he's part of the network. And there's a lot of stuff out there to keep up on, but pick your sources and try to keep tabs on what's going on, because there is a lot going on. Sherry was a stand-up speaker last night. She spoke about the medical care in these jail facilities. In fact, some of the phone calls were about that also. These men and women are not getting proper medical care. And it's another form of the torture that they are experiencing now, in addition to being incarcerated wrongfully, in addition to not having visits or denied their right to a speedy trial, their right to bail. They also have to endure shoddy medical treatment. And I understand that most doctors, they all don't graduate at the top of the class. So the ones that aren't at the top of the class got to go somewhere for a job. Guess where they go? Prisons. Some of the prisons contract out medical attention to hospitals that are nearby, but there's always a liaison that determines whether or not that inmate will go to a real hospital or not. And if it does come to urgent critical care, they do go to a hospital. They don't perform operations in the jails, but the medical attention that they're getting is horrible. It is horrible. So Sherry had an experience where she heard of an experience where a Proud Boy was in a medical facility and the doctor questioned his kind of sad. The doctor said, "Are you a Proud Boy?" You got to see it. Just watched last night's vigil stream. But the doctor thought that he was a traitor for being a Proud Boy because they weren't with us. The Proud Boys aren't with us. So there is a serious delusion going on in the world right now. Serious delusion. One way to get over this delusion, I would recommend you come to Christ. The only way that you are going to know any type of truth in this age, this time that's been predicted in the scriptures long ago, is that if you have guidance from God above and you accept the sacrifice of Jesus Christ in your life to cover your sins, then you can approach God. Then God can enlighten you. Then God can give you discernment. So I hope everyone in our audience today has a relationship with Christ. It's critically important in the end times right now. And we are definitely in the end times that are spoken of in the book of Revelations. Mickey and Nicole were back. They gave a brief synopsis of what went down at the rally that they were at up in Michigan. They said they made an impact. The more and more people are coming to the realization that the J6 fiasco is a sham. It's a sham. There is all kinds of crooked people. There was Antifa there. There was FBI agents there. There was undercover DC Metro cops there. The cops, their equipment was not adequate that day. They have so much security around that Capitol building that there is no reason whatsoever that they pulled a surrender. So, and that's what they did. They pulled a tactical surrender on that day. And we got to question their integrity. In fact, every member of that police force should be embarrassed by this and speaking out on the reasons why it happened. Otherwise, they're linking themselves with an incompetent team of law enforcement. It was horrible what happened that day. There's no excuse for it. It was instigated, no doubt about it. Mickey and Nicole mentioned a group called Stand in the Gap, which is going to be helping our J6ers as they get out of prison, land on their feet when they get out. They're going to need everything. They've just been through emotional, physical torture, and some of them are getting released soon. A lot of them have lingering medical problems that weren't attended to while they were in the jail. And there's a group called Stand in the Gap that's helping them out. So if we can get information out about Stand in the Gap, that would be great. Let's see how our battery's doing. Okay, we got a little more. Matt DeSilva called in for us again, and he's got medical problems. Jerry Brower called in. He's a diabetic. He was denied his diabetic medicines for several days. Filed an emergency grievance to get his medical insurance, and it was denied. So, get that little piece of hair. It was denied. These people are tyrants. It's crazy. Gotta say, it was really great to see Mickey and Nicole again. They're looking so good. They are on fire. They're starting to travel around. So right now, Freedom Corner is down 5 people because they are up at the New York event. But we still got a good crowd down at Freedom Corner. We are holding down the fort. We will continue to hold down the fort and get these J6ers information out to the public, because that's what's happening. None of this is on TV. And we're scrambling doing this, okay? We're charging phones off the van. It's just we don't have access to a plug unless we're running a generator at Freedom Corner. Some of us, there is other. The Eagle's Nest is still there, and they got power, but we're scrambling. Jerry Brower, Chris Quaglin called in too. He's standing strong, man. If you want to hear a strong patriot who is not going to kneel. He is going to go down fighting, or he's going to champion over it all. I commend you, Chris Quagland, for standing the way you are and not budging 1 inch on your constitutional rights, on your human rights, and your representation of us at J6 is very appreciated, and we appreciate your stand, and we will back you any way we can. And then Sherry spoke again, and then at about 1:30 in the 00 Jericho broadcast, there was one of the most awesome flag waves I've ever seen down at the corner, man. I almost started crying. It was so beautiful. If you get a chance, just go watch that 10 minutes, man. The right song was playing. It was getting dark. The flags were lit up with the lights above. It was a sight to behold, Patriots. And it just moves me emotionally just thinking about it right now. So if you got time, go through the broadcast from last night. We're going to broadcast again at 7 o'clock at Freedom Corner. That is our venue right now. And then David's broadcasting out of New York at the America First Warehouse for their J6 Truth and Justice Week that they're having up there. So we are spreading the word. Mickey and Nicole are going to go up to the New York event, and Tommy and Tammy are going to come back on Wednesday. So Mickey and Nicole get up there. They got another event scheduled after that and another one after that. So they are on the road. They are in demand. People want to hear what they have to say. They're excellent speakers. They're excellent leaders. The Lord's hand is on them, and we pray for their courage, their discernment, their strength, and we hope God's message about justice gets out into the world. What can we do, Patriots? I saw a comment by Denise Green. Denise Green, you mentioned one day every month we should have some type of an event, some type of a loud and visible event at, say, every state capital, a flag wave, and just one message. And that one message is America first. America first. Why would it be any other different? The fact that we actually got to stand up and say America first is kind of bizarre world here. Of course you would have America first in your country. If you lived in Fiji, it would be Fiji first. So why isn't it that way here? What happened to America? What happened to America? It took a long time. Small increments, sleepy Americans, good times make soft men. And that's when tyranny can creep in, and that's what we see has happened right now. Okay, on other news, this fire in Maui is crazy. It is crazy. Homes burnt to the ground. There's over 1,000 people missing. The government has come in and locked down the whole scene. There's people standing by with pallet loads of supplies to help the people out there that they are not allowed to bring in. You have to get a special pass to get in and out of the area. If, say, you had a house there or relatives there, that has to get renewed every 72 hours. So we got some serious New World Order shit going on in Maui right now. And it just happens to be that the guy who's in charge there, the Maui police chief, John Pelliter, just so happens to be the same police chief that was in Las Vegas when the Las Vegas shooting happened. So this is how they operate. That guy just got 56 people supposedly were killed in Las Vegas in that shooting early in Donald Trump's presidency. And next thing you know, he's the police chief in Maui when they have a bizarre fire roll through there that happens to kill happens to burn down all the local people's houses, but the Walmart's still standing. Oprah Winfrey's house is still standing. Julia Roberts' house is still standing. So there is talk that this was a way to sweep out the indigenous people who weren't selling their property so that they could build their condos and their mansions. That's all they want. That's all they care about. So Patriots, we got to look at what's going on in Maui right now. Something's going on there. Something happened there. The way the fires burned there is the exact same way it happened in California a couple years ago. I think 2 or 3 years ago, there was fires in California a while back. Something's up. Something is up. There was a weird chemtrail action in Maui before the fire started. They started in multiple strange places. And the information is already getting censored about the Maui fire. Why would they censor information? They're trying to hide something. If there's something going on there, they will try to hide that information. So that's what we got going on there. Patriots, if you can, look into it. 1,000 people still missing. Biden, his comment asked as he was getting on the helicopter or whatever, do you have a comment on the Maui fire? He said literally no comment. And then he released a tweet or whatever that had the word laser focused in it. I mean, this is psychological warfare on every single American in this country right now. And I pray discernment over you all, that we can see through this and keep our head on our shoulders without our brains exploding, because this is called paradigm busting. You have an idea of what the world is right now, and they just throw so much garbage information at you that you cannot link it up and make sense of it, and then you detach. You detach from your reality, the reality of being an American, living in this country. You detach from it and you stop caring, and you might as well be a zombie now. You're just like a zombie in the movies. You're walking around, you're oblivious to what's really going on, because there's false information, there's valid information, there's lies, there's gaslighting going on. We gotta have discernment. We have to be calm, or this country is going to spiral out of control if it isn't already. We are under attack. 300 people from fentanyl every day die, which is a solvable problem if we let our Border Patrol agents do their job. I don't understand why all the Border Patrol agents aren't doing their job. I don't understand why all the Border Patrol police could do their job under Donald Trump and they can't do their job under Biden. They didn't fire all the border police and hire new ones when Biden got in, but it's night and day. The same Border Patrol the same guys and ladies were Border Patrol agents during Trump as the ones that are there now under Biden. But for some reason, they can't do their job under Biden. We're under attack. Word is coming out on the sickness that the FDA, the ADA are not liable for lying to us. And it's coming out that they lied to us. Ivermectin works. Hydroxychloroquine works. Nobody needed to go get their cure. And the people that did go get their cure are having extremely bad medical events happen in their life and death. We are under attack. There is a death toll for this every day. We got young people dying from heart attacks. We got healthy young adults, athletes that are collapsing. It's still happening. We are under attack. Here's another paradigm busting piece of information. Do you remember the FTX scandal where billions of dollars just vanished from the FTX investment firm? And the dude's name was some like college punk looking guy named Samuel Bankman-Fried. They throw it right in your face. Bankman-Fried, college punk. billions of dollars missing, donated hundreds of millions of dollars right before they went bankrupt to the 2022 midterm election. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Senator Ron Johnson, a U.S. senator from Wisconsin, came right out and said COVID was pre-planned. Senator Ron Johnson is a truthful guy. He's one of the Republicans that I can trust. He is not a rhino. He has been on the leading edge of discoveries and passing good legislation. And he came right out and said it, a U.S. senator. Basically, RFK Jr. is saying the same thing. Trump is kind of saying the same thing. Trump is wondering why so much of our population is unhealthy right now. You would think in this modern era that we'd have better health. We have the most extensive healthcare system in the world. How come everybody's not healthy? I look at people walking around here that are limping, that are, have obvious disabilities, and I wonder, who's their doctor? Who is their doctor? I'm a house builder. If you look at a whole neighborhood with crappy looking houses, I'm not going to say I built those houses, even if I did. Doctors the same way. They're not going to admit that those people are their patients, but they are raking in money left and right off of these insurance companies. And I'll tell you what, college doesn't make you smarter. And these doctors are proof. I watched this happen over the whole last 40 years, okay? Doctors used to be cool. They'd come out of college, they'd start a practice up, and they would make a great living. And they were respected people in their neighborhoods, in their villages. Doctors allowed insurance companies to come over and take over their business, basically. So now we got to pay every time you go to the doctor, you got to pay the doctor, you got to pay the insurance company. And then we got the government making all the rules for them. The doctors are totally not in control of their whole entire profession. So another paradigm busting fact that somehow we got to wrap our brains around, remain sane, fix it without a civil war. So Patriots, we're praying hard. The answers aren't here right now, but God's going to bring the answers in. And I'm going to flip this around so I can comments here. Pharmaceuticals kill people, you bet. KA, I don't think I can ever go to a doctor again, especially after the last sickness. Jerry pushing the Shiva. All right, Shiva's running for president, everybody. Look into him. Cloud seeding. The people in Maui all have reported strange skies right before those fires started. Dropping dead everywhere, Stua. That's right. That's right. Mental health and homeless are on the rise. That is evident in any city you go to. There are camps of homeless people here in DC. They also have like women's shelters and children's shelters. And I said, well, where do the guys go? There's nothing here. Nothing. Yes, Jeffrey Sable put together a nice list. Thanks, Sylvia. And she put it in the comments last night. There's 10, what? No, there was like 20 documentaries that are out there about J6, all kinds of stuff. The COVID, Fauci. Fauci needs to be prosecuted. Rand Paul has come out and said that. Another senator has come out and said Fauci lied. People died. He needs to be prosecuted. Unfortunately, he's not a prosecutor. He's a senator, but he's not in law enforcement. So where's our law enforcement? Okay, I do have one other piece of information about our buddy Baltimore Steve. I was able to find out what his last name is, and I called he was in Howard University Hospital. He was admitted and he was released. And I left him an email 2 days ago. I still have not heard from him, so we're still praying that Steve's all right. They would not tell me if he was released to another institution or if he was released to a shelter or released on his own cognizance. So, and the hostility of the people answering the phones at that hospital is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So the first lady that answered the phone today, she pretty much started yelling at me, and then all of a sudden the phone started ringing again, and another person picks up the phone, and I said, okay, who do I have on the line? And then that lady was very nice. She helped me out, found out what wing of the hospital went in, and transferred me to that wing. But some of the people answering these phones are hostile, and I don't know how you can be running a hospital when you got some piece of shit like that answering your phones. If that lady worked for me, answering my phone for my business, and I got just a half of a idea that she'd talk like that to somebody, she'd be out of there immediately. Immediately. Okay, we got Mickey and Nicole are going into a hearing today where Judicial Watch is suing. It's a lawsuit case, and I don't know everything about it yet. And it will be at the DC courthouse where we have been protesting daily. So that's at 1 o'clock. I'm going to try to be there about 1 or 2 and try to catch an interview with them as they come out. And there was a gal and I think her daughter at the vigil last night who has a man, I don't know if it's her man or if it's her brother, who has been in the DC gulag for 8 years and has not had a trial yet. He's in there for murder, but he's been in there for 8 years and has not had a trial yet. And I thought we had a bad thing going with 2.5 years for some of these guys with no trial, but 2.5 years of confinement. So I'm gonna talk to this woman tonight, and I asked if I could interview her. I want to get some facts about her, and I want to put all the stuff that we found out on how to look things up and maybe look into this guy that she still cares for, obviously, because she's still there 8 years after he's been thrown in jail. Yeah, Shadow, she was a wonderful lady, wonderful lady. My heart goes out to him. And this is the wickedness, this is the evil that we're uncovering. J6 has allowed this evil to not stay hidden. It can't hide because we are on it. We are on it. So we got to keep up the action. We got to keep up the pressure. We got to keep up the resistance. And we got to keep up the fight. So I think I'm going to sign out. We'll make this a quickie. All right, we're like 10 minutes faster than yesterday. We'll get this diluted down to a shorter update every morning, but I'm glad God's given me the ability to do this. I appreciate you all that care for our country, that understand we got to build it back. We got to get our country back. It is off the rails. It is out of control. There are tyrants running us, and we can't vote them out. So we got to figure some other way of getting them out. It's a deep state coup that happened on January 6th, and I'm sticking to my guns with that. It was a deep state coup. There is an illegitimate administration in the office of presidency right now. And it is entrenched in all the three-lettered agencies. The FBI is tainted, the DOJ is tainted, the NIH, the ADA, the CDC. These people are bureaucrats that we can't get rid of. So we're coming up with a plan. I like Denise Green's idea, Denise, that's a great idea. And if you guys feel so inclined, just pick a day. First Monday of every month, last Tuesday of every month. Go to your capital, go to your main courthouse in your county possibly, and bring an American flag, no other flags. We got one flag, sing the national anthem, take the Pledge of Allegiance, and maybe a J6 sign. But we got to hit them hard. We got to hit them hard with an undiluted message. And we got to continue to stand and pray for guidance from God above. Patriots, I love you. We will see you later on around the courthouse today. This is Jericho, over and out.